G'day, pilot.
G'day.
It's a beautiful day for a fly, isn't it?
Not bad, not bad.
So what kind of an aircraft is this?
So this is the Sky Hunter from FPV Models in China.
Did you build this from a kit?
So this comes as an ARF kit. Everything is pre-formed, all the sub-assemblies are done for you. It comes with carbon tubes. All the tail surfaces are done for you. The canopy is done for you as well. It's really just an assembly kit, really. Obviously, I made a few different modifications for myself, but essentially, it just comes like this.
Sounds fantastic. Can you give the viewers an overview of the motor, the battery, and the equipment that you've used?
Sure. So basically, I use this predominantly for recreational use. It's in essence a recreational UAV. Definitely not a drone. The media are definitely giving some bad news to it at the moment. This is purely just for some fun. The equipment I use is I like Scorpion motors a lot. Scorpion motors, I use them in a lot of my competition planes as well, for aerobatics predominantly and 3D. They're very efficient motors. They're a bit on the expensive side, but like anything in aviation, you tend to get what you pay for. So I use a 30-26-7-10 kV. So that means that I have to swing a relatively large propeller. That's probably the only downside of this particular setup that I use, because it does mean that when I'm on hood, meaning that when I'm actually using the goggles to fly and land, which I prefer to do, I do need to do a clearing pass coming over the top of my head to make sure that the propeller is in a horizontal position. If it's not, it does contact the ground. Now obviously the best way to solve that is to use a folding propeller, and this has only got probably only about an hour's flight time on it so far, so these are some of the sort of changes that we will make, or I will make. So that's probably the only thing that I've found of this particular setup that needs some improvement. I prefer 5.8 gigahertz on my video transmitter here. So this is a 600 milliwatt transmitter. I've positioned it on what I think is a pretty logical position here at the moment. Obviously, normally we would be using a whip antenna. The reality is that no one uses those anymore because the range is very limited. So IB Crazy, who you can find on RC groups, he's been really just one of the pioneers of this technology, and he built these for me. He can build them for anyone. Just jump on his website or find him on RC groups. IB Crazy, and these are what is typically termed as cloverleaf antennas, CP antennas, and they give significantly better range and performance as well. It also means that you can fly it in not necessarily a level manner or whatever you want, and you don't get that dropout. So for moving to the front of the aircraft, I use a camera from Ready Made RC. Really good camera. I've had these going for in 2 or 3 aircraft for me, and they're really fantastic. Really good clarity, really good low light as well. I've just got that set up on a relatively simple MD260. I believe it's a 210 degrees servo. And look, they're about $20, $25, and they give fantastic pan activity. So basically, that allows me to, as the pilot, to be able to look basically past my wingtip and a little bit beyond, which for a very simple setup is fantastic. Moving on to the flight video, obviously I can record directly from my flight camera, but I prefer just to take the simpler solution and the better solution with going with a GoPro here. So using my GoPro here, I obviously can just remove that, pop that off, and obviously just return that here with no fuss whatsoever, and that just gives me some fantastic view here. The front of the fuselage cannot be seen here, so it just gives really good visual results there. I like to keep my planes really simple, so obviously I just have a pull system here, and that obviously allows me to access all of my systems here. Now, as I mentioned before, this particular plane has only got 45 minutes an hour's flight time on at the moment. Normally this tray here, which is pull out, I'll have all of my OSD and return to home functions on it, and that will have all of my systems built into that, or just velcroed on. It's as simple as that. At the moment I'm just doing some just line of sight testing, maybe at 1, 2, 3 Ks. That's all I'm doing at the moment. If you're looking down the fuse here at the moment, you can see that there's plenty of room here. Literally I could fit probably, I don't know, a 2-litre Coke bottle in there quite comfortably. At the moment I've set this particular system up using a 4-cell pack, 5000 milliamp. I've also built in a parallel system here, meaning that I can just run 2 particular 5000 milliamp batteries in here, remembering that the cell stays the same, but the milliamp doubles there. So that should give me around about maybe an hour and a half flight time as well, depending on thermal conditions.
That's fantastic. So how far can you go with that flight time?
Well, look, essentially at the moment I'm just using a Fat Shark system here. I've got the new Attitude goggles here. I'm really happy with these. I like to keep things really simple. I guess I'm somewhat limited in terms of range to probably 3, 4, 5 kilometers with this system, but look, I mean, it's just such a simple system, you know. I'm more than happy to compromise some range with simplicity. And for me, I just plug this in, put my antenna on, go flying. That's all it takes me to fly, you know, for a good hour and a half within 3, 4 kilometers. With a ground station, as they say, the sky's the limit.
Okay. So does the plane actually break up into bits for transport?
It does. It breaks down into, obviously you've got the fuselage portion here, you've got the 4 wing bolts here. Now they just unbolt, and then you've got 2 wing joiners here and 2 tail joiners here. So all that simply breaks down. It does take a little bit of work. I guess that's probably the only downside of this particular layout. For me, I just live there. So for me, I didn't want the hassle of doing that. My car trip up to my flying field is, you know, a minute. So for me, I've just built this in 2 sections. I must just simply slide this into my car long ways, and this stays in 1 section. You do have to be a bit careful in terms of assembly, but it does take me 4, 5 minutes to assemble, which I'm pretty happy with. But if I go any long distance, or in terms of going flying, the whole system just completely breaks down.
Okay. Well,